Hey guys, welcome to Get Better Project Saturday, April 2nd. The level 1 workout for today is 9-minute AMRAP, so as many rounds as possible, 9 minutes of 10 single leg dumbbell deadlifts, right leg or hip hinge deadlifts, 10 single leg dumbbell deadlifts, left leg or hip hinge deadlifts, 25 2 to 4 inch hops, and 10 sit-ups. 9 minutes is pretty short, so what we should be doing is making sure that we're ready to move at a little bit of a faster pace on this workout because it is shorter. That doesn't always mean that we're gonna blow up or anything like that with our form. We're gonna keep our form super tight, but we should be thinking about how we can move a little bit swifter in a workout like this that is shorter. So perfect form still, but just moving a little bit faster with that really good form, so it gives our bodies different stimulus on this. The way that I'm looking at this workout is those deadlifts might get a little bit tricky, especially on that second leg. Then the hops are gonna be a pretty good feeling or break from that, and the sit-ups are gonna be nice because you're laying on the ground and it's an opposing muscle movement to those deadlifts. So I'm gonna try and think I can push through the deadlifts knowing that the next two movements are gonna be making me feel better from those deadlifts. All right, so if you have any questions, let me know, have fun. For dumbbell alternating single leg deadlifts, you're going to have the deadlifts at your side. You're gonna deadlift traditionally up with both deadlifts at the same time to get started. So you're gonna hinge at your hips by pressing your hips back, weight is on your heels, knees are pointed in the direction where your toes are slightly to the outside. You're gonna pick up the dumbbell here, get into the start position. Then what you're gonna do is find a balance point on your one leg, push the hips back, keeping the weight on the heel, but still pushing the toes down into the ground, lowering the weight until you can either touch the ground or have your back start to round and then come back up. Then you would switch if you're gonna be alternating, and the same thing on the other side, and repeating the process. So what we're looking for is that from the side, if I can only go down to here, keeping my back flat, that's as far as I'm gonna go. And then I'm just going to repeat on the other side. But if I can get the dumbbell all the way down, keeping my back flat, then I'm going to do that as well. Lastly, when I put this dumbbell down for the final rep, I'm going to try and keep my back flat as I do that as well, because that's a position when we usually think, oh, I'm done, and I drop the dumbbell down. So as with everything, all of our joints are gonna stay aligned, our back's gonna stay as flat as we possibly can keep that, and we're only gonna go through the range of motion that we can in order to keep those positions, and we're gonna shorten the range of motion if we need to. For the alternating leg hip hinge deadlifts, you're going to put yourself in a position where you have a balance point here. It's just gonna be like a regular deadlift, but you're using one leg, and we don't have any weights for it, so we're putting our hands as if we had weights here, and I'll show you from the side. So your weight's gonna be on the heel, knees gonna be pointing in the direction of the toe. You're going to push your hips back actually, okay, so that enhances the feeling of the weight on the heel. Your toes are gonna be gripping the ground. You're gonna hinge at your hips as far as you can get down with a flat back. Then you're gonna come back up, squeezing the glutes and the hamstrings. Weight still stays on your heels with the toes gripping the ground. Then you're gonna switch legs, and you're going to do the exact same position on the other leg. If you did have something that you could hold on to, could be anything like a milk jug or a laundry basket, you could enhance the weight by doing that. Or if you had some small dumbbells or something like this, but you don't have to. And you'll notice that even without a lot of weight, or even without any weight, it still is a good movement pattern to get your hamstrings and your glutes really flexed and really engaged for this particular movement. The most important thing is you keep your back nice and flat as you're hinging over and hinging back up. That needs to stay flat. You might lose your balance a little bit, and that's okay. That just happens. I lose my balance sometimes too. But yeah, it's a great movement. Just engage your core, back flat, knee pointing in the direction of the toe, weight on the heel, you're good to go. For double unders or 2 to 4 inch hops, whether you're jumping twice over a jump rope or jumping 2 to 4 inch hops, the same position is going to apply, where you have your feet underneath you, a little bit narrower, but it's pretty similar to a running start position. Chest is going to be up, shoulders are going to be back, hands are going to be at your sides, and you're going to jump from your ankles or your calves, trying to avoid too much bounce in your knees. So you're going to be bouncing right here, trying to get 2 to 4 inches off of the ground. Whether you're spinning the jump rope or just tapping at your sides or just jumping, either way, it's going to be all the same, whether or not you're adding in those other things. You're just trying to keep the weight bouncing from your ankles and your calves and avoiding overbending at your knees, and that's gonna make it easier for you. And if you have your chest and your up and your shoulders back, it's gonna be easier for you to bring air into your lungs, so the whole movement pattern and movement over time is gonna be easier for you. For sit-ups, we're gonna lay down on the mat here, all the way down, putting our feet together with a bent knee. I'm gonna touch above my head, and I'm gonna throw my hands up and then follow my chest up until I can get up and touch the toes of my shoes. And then repeat the process, so touching the ground, coming up and touching the toes, and using my momentum to do so to get myself up and down out of the sit-up. That's the workout for today. If you have any questions, let me know. Log your scores and sugar, and we'll see you on the next workout.